And
some of the ladies at work?
Yeah, and it's Caitlin on the right. That's Lee Young, Lee and Shirley's granddaughter. And I can't think of the lady's name. She's a sweetheart. She cooks. And then I ran across my longtime friend, Big D's detailing shop on, what would that be, South Union Street. And he's got room for you if you got a job that you need done right now.
Now, this is a scholarship?
A scholarship that Jacob Robinson, he applied for it. He has great grades, 3.75 GPA average. His name is Jacob Robinson. He's a UL student. He's a junior this year. The gentleman presenting him this $2,500, I might add, scholarship is Mr. Jim Bervin. Jim, of course, is the gentleman who built the Evangeline Downs Hotel and is, continually coming back, and we've become good friends. In fact, tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, we're going to be making a visit over to Copper Crown and get a personal showing of it.
The hotel itself?
There's the Evangeline Downs Hotel right there. Beautiful facility. If you haven't tried it, please do so. If you come into town, or if you have a friend or a relative that you can send over there, we deeply appreciate it. A few of us locally put up a little bit of money as a, I guess you could say, as an inducement. Seed money.
And this is a picture at Préjean's Hotel? Restaurant? I'll get it on hotel.
Yeah. And of course, that is Sean and Angie Broussard, and he has Sean's auto body repair, and they say they're very busy these days. A real nice couple, and they occasionally get to watch the Bobby Dupre show. And then of course we also, and I'm taking that with my phone on my iPhone, so it's not quite like I'd like, but you can recognize them. All the way on the left is Mr. Lee Young with Lee and his wife Shirley, the owners of Indian Hills Country Club. By the way, beautiful facility these days. And Don Stemmons on the right, and of course, I asked Don, I said, Don, Mr. Albert LeBlanc, Sr., you must have known him. He says, no, Bobby, I got a little story to tell you. He says, you remember when I used to own and manage the bush tract in Carencro, Louisiana?
You bring up Mr. Albert LeBlanc because he passed away.
Passed away. He died. That's correct. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And has been buried by now. And he says, I have a little story to tell you. He says, I really didn't have the lease on the property. Mr. Albert LeBlanc Sr. had the lease on it, and he just wanted to help me. I was a little younger. Mr. Albert was, 90 when he died? 94. So Don is probably 72, 74. So 20 years difference. So he was trying to help Don get a start, and he would let him use the track, the bush track. That's the kind of man.
And you know why Albert LeBlanc had the property? Because he was the landman. He ran those commercials for years. Albert LeBlanc, he's your landman.
And LeBlanc Auto Sales, and then what he really ran on TV for a long time
was the mobile home.
The mobile home king, and he wore that crown every ad that he made.
And one last sunset, and kick back to us. Now, we got a bunch of other stuff we need to cover. This weekend, Grand Prairie is the Sauce Piquant Cook-Off and Family Fun Day at St. Peter's Catholic Church, Sunday 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go by. They're raffling off quilts, barbecue pits, the huge Saints ice chest, bingo, fun rides, pony rides, music by WD and the Cherokee Playboys. So go by. And this week also, Clue at the Opelousas Little Theater, well, actually at the Delta Grand Theater, put on by the Opelousas Little Theater Group. Go by the Delta Grand downtown, 7 p.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, and 2 p.m. matinee on Sunday. And the Dinner Theater on the 28th is coming up at 6 p.m. You can call for more info at 351-3822 or get tickets at Sebastian Dupre Fine Jewelry.
One day early last week, I had a libation, drink over at Préjean's, and I said, I better go look at the Lakeview Estate. I still own 2 lots there. I've sold all of the property I had bought except for 2 lots on the lake. And there was a guy started following me when I turned off, and I turned off, and that little vehicle stayed in the back of me. And when I stopped in front of where my lots were, this young man drives up and he backs into his driveway across the street from where my lots are. And I rolled my window down and I went to ask him, but before I could ask him, tell him who I was, he said, "You don't recognize me, do you?" I says, "No, I don't. Donovan Solis." You remember Donovan?
He used to be the head chef at Préjean's at one time.
I guess he was either the head chef or he was the chef made the decision back then. The first breakfast that we had for Santa breakfast for the CP clinic, that he prepped and brought all the food that day, if you remember right.
He wouldn't
everything.
He wouldn't let anybody prep. He did all the prep work and showed up with it, and all the other chefs
yep.
helped.
So anyhow, he says, "I'm kind of mad at you, Mr. Bobby." I said, "Why are you mad at me?" Because he says, "You haven't contacted me to help y'all out." I said, "Well, I lost track." He said, "No, I'm picking at you." He says, "I left." But he said, I was back for a while recently at Préjean's, and I saw you there, but you had people, and of course you were talking. I said, "Well, that was unusual if I was talking. I mean, really,
that don't happen often.
That doesn't happen often." So anyhow, he's at Les Amis as a chef there in Breaux Bridge.
No, they're about to make a big expansion down there.
They are they're opening up a new Les Amis in New Iberia, and he feels that he's going to be the new chef over there. So New Iberia's got a good chef coming to town.
And it's going to be around
Very
the downtown area
where
a lot of those little
that's
restaurants
where
are.
I understood, on that Main Street drag, right in that area
They got
right
public
there.
parking. They got a nice, well-lit area right by the bayou.
And first thing I did right in front of Donovan is I called Andrew. I said, "Make sure you have it." So we have his phone number and everything. So anyhow, just, I don't know, no matter where we go, we see different stories and such good memories brings back, flashes back to you. When I write that book, you think it'll all flash back like that?
Sure, we'll remember everything, but we got to remember our sponsors now. I got a bunch that we hadn't got to yet. Carl's Thrifty Way. If you need some medicine, Carl's can help you. That's over the counter, it's prescription. If you're looking for generic, name brand, they got it all. They can do home decorating type stuff, gifts, monogramming, gift wrapping. It's all there at Carl's Thrifty Way. A nice little place to shop while you're there getting your medicine filled, your prescriptions filled. LHC Group, all your home health care needs. LHC Group can help you if you've got everything from needing the nursing at your house to the special beds to the chairs to the oxygen equipment. You need to bring in the therapist. They can handle all that home care. And they also have the stuff within the hospital at Opelousas General, at Lafayette General. If you're not good enough to go home, but you're better than having the full expensive hospital care, you sit in that between area, they can help cut those expenses for you and give you good therapy. Our friend Huey Semino right now just had what they think is his last surgery at the hospital. He's been with Louisiana Healthcare Group there as well, as they've been helping rehab his leg, hoping that he continues to get better. And when he gets better, he gets to come home. The progress is moving. So it's been since July. You
just never
Our prayers are still with Huey.
Bet.
Two more sponsors I got to get to. Quality Portable Buildings. All your portable building needs. They've got all the little bitty things. You just need the garage top. If you need the full-blown barn for all your farm animals, or just something little neat and cute. Maybe you want to put a little beauty shop or a little home business, computer repair, bookkeeping type stuff, all at Quality Portable Buildings north of Opelousas. They've also got propane sales and U-Haul rentals all the way through Saturdays just north of Opelousas. And
we talk about three different concerns on exit 23.
That's right.
And that's Hugh, of course, and we talk about the truck stop, the quarters, and then we talk about the tourism center across the street, the interstate there.
And then, of course, who helped finance that tourist center is Washington State Bank right there in Washington, with locations throughout St. Landry Parish, Opelousas, Orneville, Leonville, Palmetto. 24/7 banking online on the internet. They can do your home loans, they can do your personal loans. They can help you with whatever you're looking for.
It's time for us to take Miss Sue to lunch, too.
We certainly need to. Miss Sue Bricknack over there, of course, one of the oldest banks with one of the youngest, prettiest presidents in the state. Got to butter her up a little bit.
You got that right.
But she's easy to talk about how good she is and how nice, and all these events that you and I go to, and her giving back to the community.
On the Daniel White Sean Dejan program today, Wednesday the 21st, which comes on at 7 a.m., I might mention, they had a guest on that was very interesting, Mr. Lawrence Zachary. And he is a cement finisher, and he has a picture of practically every job that he helped perform in all of his years of, he's retired now, but a very interesting story, remembers so much of the development of the Opelousas Lafayette
and Sean
communities.
was in the concrete business quite a few years.
They talked about that.
You not talking about Jamie Cormier earlier. You remember you and Sean, Jamie needed a special ramp help put in her house, and you and Sean were involved in helping put that project together with the concrete and all. I remember.
Yeah.
Got the whole
I think
thing
I
done?
provided the wood portion of it, and he provided the concrete portion.
So there you go. How about this Opelousas Lighthouse Mission?
You're going to remember that when we write the book?
I remember everything.
Okay, good.
I remember the good and the bad. That's the problem.
Oh, that's all right. We'll keep the bad to ourselves.
We talked again last weekend about Hunters for the Hungry, where you can donate all your game that you got in your freezer before hunting season begins. This year, it's going to be October the 9th, Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hunters for the Hungry. Lafayette Cajun Field's the main place. You can go to Karen Crow at the fire station, Opelousas. You can go to Nissan of Opelousas and Jennings at Our Savior's Church, Youngsville, Henderson, Eunice. But the main group that's organizing it this year is our own Johnny Carey over at the Opelousas Lighthouse Mission, the men's shelter here in Opelousas. You know, I talked so much about how Johnny's just a great guy, so active, works so hard. Congratulations, Johnny, just for the good work that you do and how everybody recognizes you.
Something I want to get to right away is Mr. Johnny Raymond emailed us. And by the way, Mr. Johnny Raymond is part owner, Buck and Johnny's Pizzeria in Breaux Bridge. Mr. Johnny, been kind of under the weather, but he made the meeting in New Orleans, looks good, and he thought about this. He got this someplace, but on Saturday, June the 7th of 2008, Don Landry attended a Louisiana Boxers reunion in Crowley. And he left there, and on the way home, he says, you know what? If somebody doesn't start chronicling, whoo, big word, putting together all this information on Louisiana high school boxing along with college boxing, it's going to be lost forever. Well, he got to writing a book. His book, I think, is complete. I think we're going to see the first copies this coming Wednesday. That's September the 28th at 6 p.m. at A La Carte Restaurant in Lafayette, Louisiana. Now, if you want to learn more about it or you want to get your name in and find out what the cost is for the meal that we're going to be served, there's going to be a what you call it when you each pay your own well, anyhow, you each pay your own.
Going Dutch.
Going Dutch, that's correct, Dutch. Nutsikwerk at 337-984-3079. I'll repeat that one more time in case you're getting your pencil right now. Nutsikwerk at 337-984-3079. Or call Andrew or I, and we'll get you some more details.
And if you're on the mail list, you probably already got your first notice in the mail. If you on the mail
of
list.
our meeting, the meeting
coming up.
And that's going to be October 28th and 29th in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Find your prayer book. New News, 2 p.m. this Sunday. They're going to have music. Bonsoir Catin will be playing. And what else I got? I guess that's all I can squeeze in today. I think I'm pretty much done. Rainbow Festival's coming up on the 16th. Oh, one other thing. Next month, on the 15th of the month, the St. Hubert's Benevolence fundraiser is going to happen at Willie's Campground as well on the 15th. More details next week's show, but mark your calendar, the 15th. The Hurricanes will be playing.
Look, I have it right there in front of me.
Got it.
I wanted to pick September the 22nd, but I picked up January the 22nd, but it's a prayer. As we close each program, we ask you to consider attending the church of your choice, and we close it with a small prayer. Lord, grant that I may do your will and not mine, always and above all. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for telling a friend. See you next week. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, Chief.